Riot Fest is my happy place. Like a spoiled brat from Whoville on Christmas, I look forward to this 3-day festival every year where music fans from all over gather together, join hands, and serenade this town with beautiful melodies. The only difference being that this small town is not Whoville, but is instead the big-ass city of Chicago. And those aforementioned people singing in unity are a hodgepodge of social misfits, no relation, consisting of punks, metalheads, goths, and other social undesirables, of which I was definitely present as we transformed this beautiful city into a temporary haven of lovable buffoonery. Also, as a quick aside, thank you to the local residents in the Douglas Park area who tolerated our bullshit. We see you, we love you, and I hope a lot of festival attendees paid you to use your parking spaces, as well as peruse the local and independent food and drink vendors outside of the festival grounds, and if possible, tipped them well. They honestly deserve it. But to get back to the point before my neurodivergent brain gets distracted again, cheeseburger. Riot Fest is my favorite music festival that I've ever been to. And I'm not just saying that just because I live a reasonable distance from it and admittedly dream of living in the city proper when it becomes financially feasible for me to do so. No, instead, I view Riot Fest as my favorite music festival for other reasons. Firstly, it is not Lollapalooza. You know, the festival that did not die a hero, but instead lived long enough to become Midwest Coachella. And secondly, Riot Fest usually doesn't have the same lineup as so many other rock and metal music festivals in the United States, which are often run by similar companies and are just sonic regurgitations of one another. Like, don't get me wrong, as my Riot Fest buddy that I go with every year said to me recently, attending one of those festivals annually would be pretty fun. But then again, with many of them, once you've seen one of those festivals, you've kinda seen all of them. They're basically the rock and metal equivalent of a Marvel movie. While sure, Riot Fest will book some bands that overlap with other festivals, that's just the nature of touring schedules. Riot Fest, unlike those other fests, has a certain identifiable feel and personality, which incidentally is how I describe my favorite dildo. Mostly because Riot Fest is independently owned and features an overall aesthetic that is so damn unique in the big rock festival landscape. That uniquity being Riot Fest's punk rock aesthetic, because even though Riot Fest features many other musical genres, it is a punk rock festival to its very core. If anything, the most common types of bands at Riot Fest are either punk groups or at the very least have punk elements, and the people that show up are predominantly very punk rock, which is to say there's a lot of leather vests, spikes, and mohawks in attendance, as well as overall attitudes that say, we don't give a but we say that with love. Essentially living a punk rock lifestyle, and one that Riot Fest overall embodies. Admittedly though, many longtime viewers of this channel might be a little bit confused by my love for Riot Fest. After all, punk is not my primary musical genre of choice. That honor belongs to heavy metal, the only entity on earth that's allowed to dumpster me. So given that, you might find my adoration of Riot Fest to be odd, considering that there are plenty of American festivals that do end up booking way more metal than Riot Fest does. Hell, even with my criticisms that so many rock and metal fests rehash their lineups. You just think I'd be more at home at a different festival. But that's not really the case, and for many reasons. Firstly, I dig the earlier mentioned unique vibe that Riot Fest exudes. I adore its punk rock personality, as well as its sense of humor, where every year John Stamos is on the list of items allowed into the festival, whereas CM Punk is routinely on the list of banned items because, to quote, he knows what he did. In other words, Riot Fest just doesn't feel like a soulless corporatized music fest and is instead its own thing. Secondly, I don't view myself as a metal elitist. Sure, I worship the art of the heavy metal riff above all else, I still don't get mad that other genres of music dare invade my festival of choice. I'm not really a person that gets angry about these things. While yes, I know that I'm dressed like a shouty rage bait YouTuber from the early 2010s, that was a big genre back then. Ask your parents about it. But I do view myself as being pretty chill about other genres of music existing at a festival. After all, you like what you like, and as a general rule, I don't criticize fans of bands or other genres of music that I don't care for. What a f***ing concept, because to do otherwise is kind of a dick move, to be completely honest with you. If anything, at the most recent fest, if you chose to check out Sublime instead of Slayer, I still hope you had a great time singing about Santeria while I screamed about Slayeria. Because at the end of the day, we are all here to have fun and celebrate the music we love. It's just the music I like is f***ing dark, just like my soul. Also, music fans at festivals should actively campaign for their festival of choice to bring in a wide variety of bands for their respective lineups. While sure, festivals need to keep their core fans happy, which for Riot Fest means booking punk bands, hardcore acts, and some metal at minimum. You know, because as stated earlier, those genres are the core part of Riot Fest's identity, just like how a core part of my identity is the void of infinite sadness. Venturing into other genres allows a festival to expand its audience and potentially remain successful, as well as making attendees' choices on what band or musician to see during a festival a little bit easier. Because at music festivals, scheduling conflicts are inevitable and suck. They are the real America's decision of 2024. That was a joke, please vote. But they can be blunted by having those said two bands competing for your attention against each other be of different genres, thus making your choice easier. Thus meaning that having a wider variety of bands can just be helpful in these instances. And thirdly, a diverse lineup of acts can inspire many of us to check out other artists outside our wheelhouses, new and upcoming bands, or musicians fairly removed from our preferred genres of choice in order to see if we are missing something. After all, speaking for myself, I spent my teenage years and 20s focused on heavy metal to the point of neglecting other genres, even genres with heavy metal overlap like punk rock and such. And Riot Fest always features a bunch of acts I'm either unfamiliar with or just haven't gotten around to, and they do this every year without fail. Acts that cause me to run a gamut of various opinions, whether that means bands I realize that I like, view as being solid, stay indifferent to, confirm that I actively dislike, or be Corey Feldman. Seriously, what the f*** was that about Riot Fest? But regardless, I am thankful for this, mostly because I learned about new rock and metal acts and dive into established artists and other genres that I had otherwise avoided in the past. And as I said, I do this every year without fail, because with every new Riot Fest lineup, I discover new bands that I eventually come to enjoy and respect, of which I am grateful for. So with all of that out of the way, I'm aware that this video hasn't yet discussed my Riot Fest 2024 experience, even though it is called My Riot Fest 2024 Experience. Oops. And that's because today's episode was just meant to be an introduction, the preamble to an upcoming video series discussing my time at this year's incarnation of Riot Fest. In future episodes, I will discuss the bands that I saw, the fun I had, and my intense mental health episode during the evening of day 2. Because you thought I was joking about the void of infinite sadness, didn't you? Joke's on you. I have f***ing depression. Yet with this first installment of this video series, I felt it was necessary to at least go over my overall thoughts on Riot Fest before discussing the 2024 edition of the festival. Because honestly, it was relevant. It was overall necessary. Because despite the popular saying that Riot Fest sucks, in reality, Riot Fest actually has a lot worth loving. And I'll be talking about what I saw on day 1 next time. Bye!